Hey folks, what's going on? Lucian the trainer here, and today we're going to be working on core strength and core control, pelvic control, core midsection control. Okay, this is going to be very relevant for anybody who feels like they have that issue, or anybody who feels like they just want to strengthen that area in general. We're going to be going through one exercise, a couple different progressions with it. In particular, what I call the A-frame plank, basically a plank position, but really focusing on our core and pelvic control in that position. Okay, so if you have a weak core, if you have a weak pelvis, if you have low back problems, this is going to be relevant for you, because we really need to control this whole area, and when we don't do it, then it goes into our low back, and so we start getting those aches and pains and strains and pulls and all sorts of bad stuff happening there. So when we control the pelvis and we control through core muscles, glutes, abs, also the back muscles, then we're able to create a lot of stability for ourselves day to day in our lives, whether we're picking up our kids, our grandkids, moving around, doing things, picking stuff up at work, whatever it might be. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm looking forward. All right. With the video, it's a different angle and shot. That's good right there. Okay, good. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're going to set up on the floor. All right, so as I mentioned, we're going to be doing a plank today. And for those of you that don't know, plank is going to be sort of like a push-up position. There's a couple variations, but we're going to be on the ground. So get yourself a yoga mat or a carpet or something like that in order to set up on the ground, okay? So when you have that ready, we'll come back here, and we're going to come to this plank position. Now in general, there's two plank positions. There's a push-up position from here on our hands, okay? And then there's going to be a sort of traditional plank here from the elbows, okay? This might be called like a high plank, and the other might be called a low plank or a regular plank. And what we're going to be focusing on today is core control, okay? Now, the key part of this, what happens, and this is one reason why I just like when I'm working with my clients, I try to be really particular about a couple of things. One of them is hip and back relationship. Particularly for those who have sensitive backs, particularly for those who are overweight, who just don't have that core strength built up, and it happens pretty easily through living a sedentary lifestyle, or just not being active, or having a million other things that you have to worry about in life, and you haven't, focused on your core strength. It just wasn't high up on the list. So it can get away from you, and the muscles will atrophy, and they'll all kind of wear themselves down, just get weak over time, and you gain some weight, the muscles atrophy. Little before you know it, we have a huge displacement in terms of what our body can manage, and so all of a sudden that weight, if you're overweight, or if you're not overweight, if you're skinny, if you have a high metabolism, you have skinny genetics, then you might be going to pick something up and you're just using your back, and you just don't feel strong, and you don't feel like you can do it, or you might pull your back out. And if you're overweight, then that belly might pull you into all sorts of positions, right? So typically a plank is going to be, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a push-up plank, so we're going to do it from the hands, okay? This can be a little wrist sensitive, okay? So if you're on your wrists and this feels like it's a little bit challenging, if you have dumbbells, you can get some dumbbells and put them under you here, so it's a little bit more of a neutral position for the wrists, okay? But we'll be here on our hands, on our wrists, and we're going to be back. Now, our hands are going to be about shoulder width apart, all right? And we're going to be coming up. Now, a plank is basically a flat line, right? If you can see here, I am in a straight line. My body is one straight line, okay? This is a plank. For people, though, who have weak core, okay, they don't have control over their posture and their position, then what we're going to focus on is called what I call an A-frame plank. So we're going here, okay? and we're coming up. Now we're starting, I like putting people into position here so that they see and feel what this feels like. This is a straight line, but if we hang out here with somebody with a weak core, it's gonna go right into the back. The pelvis tilts like this, the butt will come up, the back will drop, right? Butt comes up, back drops, and we start straining and bending into our low back, trying to hold this position. And then what happens is people strain, they pull their backs. And that's no good. Have to, take off work for a week. No bueno, it's not good for anybody. So what we do here is we come up into this plank position, okay? And we're going here, and so this is flat, and we're coming up high. So we're making kind of like an A frame, right? Hence the name, with our body, and we're bringing our hips up. So we're not bringing, our whole. We're trying not to like round everything over. We want to keep our back nice and straight, and we're just gonna lift our hips here like this. Okay, that's step one. All right. Step two, for those who may have watched a couple of my other videos, we're going to work on pelvic tilt. Okay. So pelvic tilt is this ability to go tuck, untuck. Okay. So it's being untucked here. My butt is going back all the way. I've got this big arch in my low back here, right? This is called an anterior tilt. Okay, this is the position where we're in a plank and the back drops, our back starts straining, right? We don't want this position in a plank. This is not a bad position, these are just different positions. Okay? So that butt comes back, the back, low back drops down. We feel strain in this low back. It's called an anterior tilt. And this is a posterior tilt. We're tucking our hips, we're squeezing our glutes, our butt, and we're bracing our abs here, okay? And that creates a lot of stability in certain positions, this being one of them. So the plank, we want to tuck our hips, and I'm gonna have probably a whole nother video here shortly about just the tucking of the hips. Some people have a really hard time with it, and I'm just gonna make a separate video for that. But just so you know and you can feel and you understand, that's what it is, that's what we're doing here. So we're going here and we're tucking, we're going into a posterior tilt. So I'm not going here, right? I'm going here, I'm tucking, I'm squeezing my glutes a bit, and I'm really focusing on squeezing the abs here, okay? So I'm coming up into an A frame, all right? Starting from the top here, getting into our plank position, shoulder width apart, feet are behind me, I'm coming up, I'm straight, now I'm hiking the hips up, I'm letting my hips come up, but I'm tucking my hips here, okay, and I'm squeezing my abs, okay? I'm also now trying to drive the third step, I'm trying to drive the ground away, big broad shoulders, boom, I'm driving the ground away here. Boom, I want to be very active, pushing the ground away. I'm squeezing my abs and my hips are up here, and we're just going to hold this, and this is a pretty safe way to get into this position and challenge both the upper body and the plank and the core rather, and be here and hold this. And we're just going to hold here, hold this position. And this becomes a really nice exercise. And when you start getting into this here, you might feel that desire for that low back to flip. Boom, if you don't have a lot of core control and stability here, that low back might want to flip. Boom, it'll flip down, those hips will pop up and we'll flip into an anterior tilt, right? We want to control that pelvis. We want to control those hips, right? We want to control the ability to be here versus here. Right? So you can do this in every position. We have the ability to work with our pelvis and our pelvic control, all right? Here, we can literally do it in any and every position. The hips are the most important part probably of the body. They are like your center mass. They generate your power, they generate your direction, and they generate your really ability to move effectively through space. And so when we don't have control over those hips, we become basically, you know, if a strong breeze comes through, it'll throw us off whack. It'll throw our back out. It'll, you know, if we go to pick something up, whoa, it's like we don't have any control over our back, our midsection, our core, our belly, anything like that. It's very debilitating, it's very frustrating, leads to a lot of injury. Back injury is the biggest cause of people missing out from work. So it's a really important thing. A lot of people suffer from this because of our lifestyles, sitting. Everything's very convenient. Thank God we live in a very affluent lifestyle, but because of that, we have deteriorated in some other ways. We need to be pretty active and intentional in moving our bodies. Otherwise, they'll just deteriorate if we don't use them. So, particularly around core strength, hip position, hip strength. This is a really big one. I would encourage you guys to do this at home. So the progression here is we're going, once we get that position and we feel comfortable in it, okay, we're going here. Okay, we're coming up in the hips, tucking, squeezing the abs, holding here. And then when you come down, you hold this for maybe whatever you can, right? So try to hold it for a couple of seconds if that's all you can do. And if you can go longer than that, you can go upwards of 30 seconds, a minute, minute and a half, whatever you can. But if in the beginning you can only do a second to 5 seconds, that's totally fine too. And then we're gonna work down. When you're done, slowly, nice slow eccentric push-up all the way down. Boom, done. And you can get up, however, coming back nice and slow. And you do that in sets, okay? And so we're gonna come back here, boom, find my plank, find my A-frame plank, lifting my hips here, squeezing the abs, pushing the ground away, holding. I'm gonna hold it for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 6, 5, squeezing abs, making sure I'm in a good position. 1, and I'm gonna slowly, keeping this same position, dropping down into a slow eccentric push-up. Here, lowering myself down. And this is a good way for the people who don't have the upper body strength as well to be working both upper body and the core, okay? This is an awesome way to do it. It's really good. A little bit of this every day will really go a long way. So take the time, strengthen your core, especially if you're feeling like I can't do things, I can't pick up my grandkids, I can't lift, I can't move, I can't get out of a car, you know? All of these things are extremely debilitating. They really hold us back in life, and it's not a comfortable feeling to be feeling like you're restricted. So this is a really safe way to get into this position, where really that A-frame here really takes the stress and the risk. We're de-risking that low back, because if we go into a flat position, boom, we'll drop that low back and strain that low back real hard. If you don't have the core strength to hold this flat position here with the plank, then bang, it's gonna pop down and we're gonna throw it into low back. That A-frame makes it a little bit harder to do that. So we're gonna make sure that we're trying to hold that position as long as possible, and then slowly lowering down all the way, eccentric push-up, boom, all the way to the ground, reset, do it again. Really safe way to build a lot of core strength, okay? If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, throw a comment down below. I'll answer it. For those people out there who are looking for these types of things, a like and subscribe really helps, spread the message out there for all of those other folks who have low back pain and need a good, safe solution. So for the people out there who might be looking for a good solution, if you could hit that like and subscribe if it was valuable for you, and it'll be valuable for somebody else as well. So otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic day. Go crush, and looking forward to the next one. Go get it.